Alright guys, this is our 2011 Mercedes Sprinter ambulance that we bought off of GovDeals. Drove down to Altusa or somewhere down in Alabama from Virginia to get it, and pretty happy with it, and some unexpected little issues that we're going to have to address, but nothing major that we see at this point. It is an adventure camper, so let the adventure begin, right? So it's kind of cool, some of the features it has, like right off the bat. To start up a camper build conversion, you don't really have to convert too much. It's already got the electricity and all that stuff taken care of. You can hook right into a campground power source, and what they call it, I guess, the shore power, and all that. Some of the unexpected things that we had on this that we didn't know about before we bought it, sight unseen on auction, was some rust issues, which isn't entirely uncommon with the Sprinters. I always hope to get a clean one, but it's got a little bit of rust around the window, which I'll take care of. I'm gonna get some quotes in the body shop. I might do it myself. And it had a spot back here, a little spot of rust. This one I'm not so concerned about because it's not around glass. And then a little piece up there. And then I just climbed up on the roof. I didn't actually look at the roof yet. And I saw up on the roof that there was, let me climb up there. There's a hole, actually, where there was an antenna. And I see a little spot there. But the roof looks pretty clean, other than that. And since, you know, it's very common to cut big holes in the top and mount things to these roofs, I like to put a rack up there. Not too worried about that. So it's still got all the ambulance stuff, the siren, the lights. I'm hoping to replace these lenses here, these red lenses, with clear, and then just use this as outdoor lighting. Want an awning, put an awning on this side so that you can hang out on a campground and just chill with the radio playing. The lights and the AC work inside. The AC is only a running AC, so when the engine's running, it uses a compressor off the engine. Blows cold though, so that's nice. Inside the cab, we got this bench here, which I'm thinking I'm just going to cover this with another bench, take the padding off, make a wooden bench that extends to be the bed. And so I'll have big cushion here. This cushion on the back comes and doubles up and is part of this cushion for the bed that makes up the bed. So this will slide out, like double over. Enough for my wife and I to camp out on. For now, our 2-year-old can snuggle up with us. It is separate from the cabin. There's no door passing through, and this is like the jump seat. You know, very comfortable seat though. So I'm hoping that what I can do with this is put a swivel underneath. Like I've seen these lock-in swivels where it's got a little lever and goes 90 degrees and locks, and 90 degrees and locks. And so I'm hoping that I can just cut this out, this entryway here, and make this, maybe center this jump seat and have it so it'll swivel 360 degrees, and make sure I lock it down, put some anchors down, different anchors for the seat belt, and then be able to lock my child's car seat into that. So he'll be able to ride in between us when we're cruising. I can take the seat out, swivel it sideways, and we can pass through there into the cab. But I'm thinking about right now keeping this cabinetry here. My wife's on the fence about maybe removing it, but I'm not so sure. We got this nice handle, so when you're driving, you can kind of walk back and forth. This little cubby space here, I'm hoping that I can put like a TV in here. Maybe take this out and rework these switches. These switches control AC back here, inverter, exhaust fan. There's a pretty high duty exhaust fan. Some of the stuff, like with the exhaust fan, I'd like to, I need to turn this back on from the front. I'm going to need to do a little bit of rewiring. Right now it seems like to get this stuff back here working, I have to have the ignition on. So it'd be nice to not have that on and still be able to have this on back here. I suspect that when I plug in to the shore, which I haven't done yet, that this stuff back here will work. And like this I got this fan, low, medium, high. So that this exhaust fan should be that too, because you go on and it's like, you know, a tsunami in here. There, it just sucks everything out. So it'd be nice to have it that toggled so I can do a low, medium, high type of thing there, or off, low, medium, maybe, I don't know. It's got heat. I suspect the heat works when the engine's not on. Hopefully, if it's got like a heat strip, that'd be cool. And some of these lights are like, you know, action area. That's like outside, so that'll turn on like those lights outside, which is nice for like exterior lighting when you're camping. Don't have to have a lantern. Left dome. I'm not sure what this does. There's a lot of switches in this thing, which is kind of cool. It's fun to play with. A lot of little compartments. All this cabinetry here is really shallow. It's like, I'd say 6 inches up top. And then these are maybe down at the bottom, maybe 9 inches, something like that. Down here, yeah, it gets a little bit deeper as it goes down. Yeah, it's a Sprinter van, so it's kind of following the contour of the van. There was like a little rack in here that I just removed. We're going to put down a new linoleum floor. So right straight away, the modifications we're going to make are going to be minimum. Put a bed, something for bed, new linoleum, clean it up, and give it a try, and then make modifications as we see fit. So as we have problems. But a lot of nice little spots. It's going to be tight, but it's a tight camper for like packing things in. There's this really cool kind of nook back here, which you could kind of shove some luggage in, per se, maybe. Hand sanitizer slot, which is always good. And these doors are really cool. For any of you that have never had a Sprinter, have never seen them, they open up to like this point, but then you can split these things out, and they go all the way around, and they have a little magnetic catch, so you can open them up the whole way. So I'm thinking about doing, I've seen them where you can buy, but they're really expensive, the screens for the back, so that when we're camping and we don't have AC and it's hot, we could just open up the back and maybe even turn on the exhaust fan to get some airflow going. So that might be a good solution for now, while we don't have AC. And this one here, this one does the same, and it will even avoid the open door. The side's a little higher, so it sits out a little bit more, and so you don't get a collision of those two doors. So that's really cool. Really happy with the space. I think it'll make a great little adventure camper. When I picked this thing up, I picked it up from an ambulance place in Altoona, Alabama, and they tend to sell a lot of these on GovDeals.com, which is where I got this thing. But the mechanic came out with me, and the head mechanic, I guess, for the shop, Buddy, and I was like, "Where's the spare?" There's no spare underneath. And, "Oh, let me get he grabbed me a spare. And I asked him about the DEF fluid. Where do I put the DEF fluid? And he went and got some DEF fluid and filled it up, and then gave me the rest of the DEF fluid, and made it down to the gas station to fill up, and radiator fluid was leaking. And went back, and the mechanic came out and tightened up the hoses, and Buddy came out and gave me 2 gallons of radiator fluid to help get me home. So really nice guys. I didn't feel like I was getting ripped off, at least not yet. But they were super nice there in Altoona. Again, as I said, the unexpecteds for this thing were the rust spots. But buying something sight unseen like that, I was really I was kind of expecting some stuff. The engine ran great. It was, didn't burn an ounce of oil. 500 miles, I just drove it home. Ran like a dream, super quiet. No squeaks or anything like that. Belts, when I first started up, the belts were a little squeaky, but nothing after the first startup. So I think it had been sitting a few months. Again, we had a little radiator fluid leak, and it seems like it's when it's cold, so I'm thinking it only leaks when it's cold. Sounds like it's a clamp. They just replaced they have those those screw clamps, and I'll go ahead and replace them with spring clamps. And so I'm going to take this thing around to a couple body shops and get some estimates on the rust spots, and I might just fix it myself. They're pretty minor, and I'm thinking about even coating this thing with the Plasti Dip, give it a nice like matte finish. My wife really wanted a darker van anyway, and it'll protect it too. I figured it'll protect it from future rust. So that's all for now. Do some more videos as I do more stuff. All right, later. So I'm just pulling more stuff out, and there's this oxygen compartment. It had oxygen tank, and a hose going up from there, and yeah. So I pulled that tray out, and I'm seeing that there's a ton of space under here. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that might be a good place to put a water tank. Then I'll have, just carry some water with us, which is always nice. I'm thinking shower off the back perhaps, and maybe faucet up there, small tray to catch, nothing too impressive, but there is a pipe already going up there for oxygen. I assume that's pretty clean for fresh water as well. So just some thoughts as I'm pulling this thing apart. Who knows? We'll see what happens.